Close your eyes. Now, let your breath fall gently, like leaves drifting onto still water. Feel the quiet settle over you, like dusk falling across an old village. The breeze is soft. The trees hush, their rustling. The sky deepens into a velvet blue. You are safe here. You are warm, and nothing is needed from you but stillness. Let the outer world fade just a little. Let your body rest. And now, let your mind follow the sound of my voice into a faraway place. Our story tonight begins in a hidden village nestled in a valley forgotten by time. The rooftops are thatched with golden straw, their edges mossy with age. Stone chimneys send up thin trails of smoke, winding into the twilight air. The cobbled paths glisten faintly with a memory of rain, and everything smells of wood smoke and wild thyme. At the edge of the village stands a tall bell tower, its stones worn smooth by centuries of wind and time. Beside it is a small cottage where the Bellringer lives. His name is on his hair is silver, and his hands are strong and kind. Each evening, as twilight brushes the rooftops, he steps from his door with a lantern in hand. He walks the cobbled path, slow and certain, wrapped in a thick wool cloak. The flame inside his lantern flickers gold across the stone walls and window panes. Villagers glance out and see him pass. No one speaks, only nods, soft and reverent. Children press their hands to the glass and watch him disappear into the shadows of the tower. Oldward ascends the steps inside, one by one, steady and He's climbed more times than he can count. Each step knows his weight. The bell above waits quietly. It knows its song is near. When Alderred reaches the top, he pauses and looks out across the valley. The light is fading fast, and the hills are turning to blue shadows. Lanterns bloom below, glowing like stars come down to visit the earth. The wind brushes past him, cool and sweet, stirring the ivy on the tower walls. He listens not for noise, but for stillness, the kind of sacred hush. Then he grips the bell rope, its fibers worn, smoothed by generations of hands. He pulls one slow, steady. The bell answers with a deep, mellow chime that rolls across the village like warm honey. The sound fills every home, curling beneath doorways and around chimney pots. It drapes itself around the shoulders of the night, tender and inside their cottages. The villagers pause just for a moment and listen. The baker brushes flour from his hands and turns off his oven flame. The healer blows out her candle and wraps a shawl around her shoulders. Children crawl beneath blankets, their heads on soft pillows, eyes blinking slowly. The bell sounds again, another rich, slow note that seems to come from the earth itself. The curfew bell. They call it a call to bank the hearths and rest. Its sound isn't a warning. It's a cradle, a closing of the days. Heavy book Alderred lets the rope fall gently. He watches the last echo drift into the trees. The bell stands still again, as if breathing, satisfied. Below, smoke curls gently from the chimneys. Curtains close, lamps dim. A cat curls tighter on a windowsill. A kettle whistles, then quiets. The world is folding inward, soft and slow, like a quilt being drawn up to the chin. Alderred descends the steps again, his lantern bobbing a trail of light behind him. The tower creeps softly as he leaves, settling into the quiet. He walks back through the village, past closed shutters and steel fences. His boots sound lightly on the cobbles, a lullaby of footfall and flame. Inside his cottage, he hangs the lantern and removes his cloak with care. He places a log on the hearth and stirs the embers until they glow gold and red. He pours himself a cup of elderflower tea, fragrant and steaming. He settles into a chair by the fire, his hands wrapped around the cup. The room glows warm and gentle, the fire reflecting in his tired eyes. Outside, the moon has risen above the hills, a soft coin in a dark sky, and far across the village, the bell's echo still lingers like a low hum of comfort. Alderred closes his eyes, letting the warmth of the room wrap around him. Another day is done, another hour has been marked, and the bell sleeps once more, its voice folded into the night. In the stillness that follows, The village becomes a hush wrapped in shadow and firelight. Homes seem to breathe with warmth, their chimneys exhaling the last sighs of the day. Malin, the village's oldest widow, sits beside her hearth with a knitting basket in her lap. She doesn't knit anymore, not really. Her fingers just move the yarn slowly, as memory. She listens to the echo of the bell, still humming in her chest like a lullaby. In the corner, her old cat stretches, yawns, and curls back into a circle of sleep. By her feet, slippers rest untouched. Tonight, she needs nothing more than the hush. Across the lane, Tom the baker has locked his doors and swept his floor. He looks out into the street, sees the flicker of Aldrid's lantern disappear into shadow. He smiles and pours himself a mug of warm cider, steam rising in lazy spirals. He leans on the windowsill, candlelight casting amber across his face. He remembers when his father first lifted him to the window to hear the bell. Even then, it sounded like comfort, like someone placing a hand gently on your shoulder. The bell has marked every night he can recall: rain, wind, snowfall, harvest, and always, after the bell, came sleep. Further down the street, a child named Elsbeth lies in bed, eyes wide with wonder. She's tucked beneath a thick wool blanket, the kind her grandmother made. Her older brother hums to her softly, a melody that fades in and out like breath. "Did you hear the bell?" she whispers, her fingers wrapped around the edge of the quilt. He nods and smiles. It means the village is safe. The bell keeps the night kind. Outside their window, the garden rests, leaves stilled, soil cool, moonlight dust in the paths. The stars above flicker like distant lanterns, quiet witnesses to centuries of nights. The bell's voice no longer echoes, but its feeling lingers warm, woven into wood and bone. Aldred finishes his tea, sets the cup aside, and pokes gently at the hearth with a stick. The flames whisper, a language he's always understood. He leans back and closes his eyes. In the silence, he thinks not of time, but of rhythm, how the bell gives shape to life. He remembers when he first climbed the tower, just a boy, his grandfather's hand on his back. The rope had seemed so heavy then, the bell so high, but the sound when it came felt like magic, like the voice of the earth itself. He knew then he would ring it for the rest of his days. In every season, it has been his companion. In deep snow, his boots crunching over frost-crusted stone. In heavy fog, when even the path to the tower was a dream of shadows. In spring, when the wildflowers nodded to him as he passed. And in summer, when the valley was golden and alive with beasts. But always, when the sun leaned westward and the rooftops turned to brass, he rose. He lit the lantern, pulled his cloak close, and walked. Tonight, he feels the same peace he always does, that his part has been played gently and well. He hears the wind press softly against the door, a sigh of pine and smoke. He draws a blanket over his knees and lets the quiet cradle him. The bell may have fallen silent, but the night listens still. It listens to footfalls in dreams, to whispers in sleep, to the soft breath of comforted hearts. It listens to every child pulled close beneath a quilt, to every dog curled at the hearth. It listens to the way stillness can be music, how rest is its own kind of song. The curfew bell, the cover fire bellet, doesn't end the day. It ushers in the beginning of the hush. Aldred knows this. And tonight, so do you. Let the rhythm of the village become your own. Let your body settle like snow. Let your thoughts grow soft at the edges, drifting like ash above embers. The bell has rung. The valley sleeps. And you, dear listener, are part of this quiet now. There is nothing left to do, no place left to be, but here. Let go. Let the hush hold you. Let the night deepen. Let the echoes fade into peace. A frost-kissed dawn will come, but for now, the night holds everything in stillness. The village is tucked beneath a blanket of stars, roofs like quiet humps beneath moonlight. Every window glows dimly, or not at all, like eyelids already closed in slumber. The stream that winds past, the mill babbles just enough to lull, not wake. Its water reflects the stars, trembling softly with each ripple. At the top of the bell tower, the bell rests, unmoved, yet alive. It feels the air shift. It remembers each hand that pulled its rope. It knows the names of those who've stood beneath it, even if no one else does. Time here is not counted in seconds, but in echoes. Each ring has left a mark, like fingerprints pressed into memory. And tonight, another layer was added. Down below, in the Bellringer's cottage, the fire dims to a red glow. Aldred sleeps now, one hand resting lightly on the old bellkeeper's journal beside him. The cover is cracked, the pages filled with looping ink and tiny drawings. Entries that span seasons and lifetimes, not just notes about bell repairs or rope fraying, but poems, descriptions of how the wind felt on a Tuesday in November, sketches of leaves caught in the tower stairwell, memories inked with gentleness, as if the bell itself were whispering them. Beside the journal lies a small wooden box. Inside it, a silver bell on a chain-o, bigger than a walnut, a gift once given by Aldred's mother, who rang the bell before him. She had told him, "Even when you cannot climb, this will sing for you." He hasn't worn it in years, but tonight it seems to hum faintly on its own, as if remembering. In another part of the village, Willem, the blacksmith's son, dreams vividly. In his dream, he walks the bell tower steps, but they're lit from within, glowing. He reaches the top, but the bell is not alone. A line of figures stands in shadow, each one a Bellringer before him. Their faces kind, their eyes quiet. Each one nods as he passes. He feels no fear, only calm. When he reaches the rope, it feels familiar in his palm, and when he pulls, the sound is deeper than any bell he's heard. But it doesn't startle. It soothes. It grounds. It feels like returning. In her cottage, Malin shifts slightly in her rocking chair. Though she sleeps, she smiles faintly, the kind of smile that only memory can draw. She sees herself younger, walking hand in hand with her father on a cold evening. She remembers the first time the bell moved her to tears. Back then, the bell was rung by a woman with hair braided down her back like rope. The sound that night had followed her into sleep and into her heart. It has never left. In this village, no one forgets the bell. Even if they do not speak of it, it lives in their rhythm, their rituals, the way they close shutters at sunset, the way they hold silence for a moment when it tolls. It isn't law. It isn't enforced. It's just understood. In the barn at the edge of the meadow, a single lamb shuffles in its sleep. Its mother lifts her head, then lowers it again. Even animals know the tone of safety. The bell's voice has long since ceased tonight, but its tone has left a residue. It lingers in the quietness of the soil, in the rafters of every roof beam. It lingers in the softness of every breath taken by those now sleeping. In time, the embers in Aldred's hearth will cool. The tea will be drunk. The journal will be closed once more, but not yet. For now, everything holds. Everything listens. And the hush is whole. The night deepens further, folding gently like parchment under moonlight. The trees at the village edge sway only slightly, as if rocking the stars to sleep. Beyond the hills, the forest breathes slowly, its roots sunk deep in centuries. A soft owl call rises low and round, then fades into the hush. The bell tower stands still, tall against the sky, a quiet sentinel. Its shadow lies stretched along the cobbles, reaching past empty lanes and shuttered homes. Above, the moon has risen high, round and warm, brushing rooftops in silver. In her cottage, Malin stirs, not from restlessness, but from habit. She walks to the window and looks out, her fingers resting lightly on the sill. She sees the village washed in, calm. Not a soul stirs, and still, the feeling of the bell lingers. She thinks of her childhood, of evenings long ago, when her own father carried her to the window. They'd stand quietly and listen as the bell rang out. Even then, she knew the sound was something sacred, not sacred in ceremony, but sacred in softness. She presses her forehead to the cool glass, eyes drifting shut, and in that moment it feels like the bell has rung again, though it hasn't. It's only her heart, echoing what it remembers. In the Bellringer's cottage, Alder dreams. He dreams of his younger self, standing at the tower's base. He's just received the bellkeeper's key, a small thing, iron and old. It had been placed in his palm like a secret passed between worlds. In the dream, he climbs the tower with a sense of purpose, not duty, but joy. He reaches the bell, and it turns to look at him, not literally, but in the way mountains watch, patiently, knowing. The rope is thick in his hands, but he pulls it and when the bell rings, the sky changes color, as if night has leaned closer to listen. When Eldred wakes, the dream remains not like a picture, but a warmth behind his eyes. The fire's a low red pulse now, barely flickering. He draws his blanket higher and rests his head against the chair's back. His eyes drift closed again, not from exhaustion, but from peace. Outside, frost begins to form along windowsills and fence posts. It gathers gently, like lace laid carefully by invisible hands. The village accepts it without protest, each rooftop glazed in hush. Even the animals seem to dream. A dog whimpers faintly in its sleep, chasing something kind. The blacksmith's forge stands cold and still, tools laid in rows as if resting too. In the field, just beyond, the sheep lie nestled in one another, breathing slow. The stars pulse overhead, soft and endless. The bell sleeps, as the village does, but it listens to. It remembers the weight of hands, the pull of twilight, the hush that follows. It knows when the valley is calm, when its voice has been heard, and it waits without impatience for the next dusk to come. The night is deep now, but you are not alone in it. You are part of this hush, part of this rhythm that has echoed through time like a heartbeat in stone. Let your thoughts fade like footprints in snow. Nothing calls for you now, not even the bell. All that remains is warmth, and night, and quiet. The hush of the night cradles every stone, every shuttered window, every sleeping thought. Beyond the fields, where the grass brushes gently against ancient fences, mist begins to form. It drifts slowly, curling between trees, and flowing across the cobbled path like breath. The moonlight catches it, turning it pale gold light that moves and settles in silence. In the Bellringer's cottage, the fire has dimmed, two soft embers, breathing in red and orange. The air smells of oak ash, wool blankets, and tea leaves, long steeped. Aldred shifts slightly in his chair but does not wake. His dreams are steady and still. He dreams of seasons the way. The bell sounded different, in snow, in fog, in mid. He dreams of those who came before him, standing atop the tower in robes and cloaks, each one different, but all the same in spirit. Quiet guardians of the hour. In his dream, he does not speak with them. There's no need. They look to him, nodding. He nods in return. A silent agreement between those who keep the rhythm of time, not with clocks, but with care. Meanwhile, Willem, the blacksmith's son, has stirred. He steps quietly across his room, careful not to wake his parents in the next one. He presses his nose to the window pane. It's glass, misted with his breath. The bell tower stands tall in the distance, a shadow against the stars. He watches it, still and reverent, as if it might chime again just for him. He doesn't know yet that his path will one day lead to that tower, but part of him feels it, in the way children sense the shape of things to come. He presses his hand to the window and whispers, "Good night, Bell." And somewhere deep in the village's silence, something answers not with sound, but with feeling, a sense of being held, gently, and with great care. In her cottage, Malin has returned to sleep, her rocker swaying no more. A shawl has slipped from her shoulders to the floor, and her hands lie folded over her chest. The candle on the table is burned low, a teardrop of wax curling down the side. She dreams of bells, not one, but many, strung across meadows, chiming in wind. She walks barefoot in that dream, and each bell sings her name. All around the village, dreams blossom, quietly, like night flowers. They take root in still minds, and bloom in rhythms carried by the bell's memory. A song that lingers, unhurried and low. The bell has not rung for hours now, but his voice is a thread in every slumber, a comforting hum, a slow warmth, a shape of safety beneath the skin. The village knows how to sleep because the bell knows how to end the day, and it has ended it well. In time, the moon begins to lean west, dipping toward the forested hills. A soft breeze stirs through the valley, cool and clean, brushing frost with care. The trees whisper, not with language, but with breath. They do not wake the village. They only keep watch. Even the river has softened its voice, as if the rocks beneath it have quieted too. All the world has surrendered to rest, and you, too, are part of this surrender. There is no need to move, no need to think, or remember. You are simply here, wrapped in the same quiet as the stone and the stars. Let your limbs grow heavier, as if made of moss and honey. Let your breathing match the rhythm of the bell you heard earlier, slow and true. Let go fully. Now, there is nothing beyond this moment but peace, and the promise that the bell will ring again when the night has done its work. Far beyond the sleeping rooftops, the forest leans inward, cloaked in silver dew. Each leaf carries a droplet of night, glistening quietly under the thinning moon. Foxes tuck into their dens. Owls return to their hollows. The creatures of the dusk give way to deeper sleep. The world, even in its wild places, obeys the rhythm of rest. In the tower, the bell remains motionless, suspended like a breath waiting to exhale. It gleams faintly where moonlight strikes its curve, runes still etched in soft shadows. The tower holds the cold, ancient and still, but not unkind. It holds the bell as a heart holds a memory tenderly. Even in silence, Alderd sleeps beneath a heavy wool blanket, arms folded loosely across his chest. His face is peaceful, lips slightly parted, as if, even in sleep, he listens for something sacred. The coals in the hearth have faded to faint red pinpricks, like stars on a black sea. The night has passed its deepest hour. The air grows colder, sharper but never cruel. In every cottage, stillness reigns, yet it is a living stillness, breathing with the pulse of dreams. The young couple in the house beside the mill lies, their hands touch between them an unconscious link, steady and soft. Their dreams mingle different paths, shared footsteps. In their minds, they walk toward the tower, fingers entwined, listening for the bell that always calls them home. A cat stretches near their hearth, then settles again, a tail flicking in sleep. The baker sleeps upstairs in his room above the shop, flour still clinging to his cuffs. In his sleep, he stirs dough that never ends, light as clouds, warm as kindness. Even in his dreams, he hears the toll of the bell, low and comforting. He turns toward the sound, knowing that morning is far off, and he is still allowed to rest. Willem, the blacksmith's boy, dreams once more. This time, he walks the tower steps without fear or wonder, just familiarity. His hand on the rope feels natural. The bell above him waits. He doesn't ring it, not yet. He only stands beneath it, breathing in the cool stone air. And when he looks out the window, the village is there, but glowing like a painting, warm and lit from within. He doesn't want to wake, and tonight he doesn't have to. Across the valley, clouds begin to gather behind the hills, soft and slow. They do not threaten rain, only shade, only softness. They drift like thoughts across the sky, slowing time itself. Every field, every wall, every tree is wrapped in this weightless hour, the hour that lives between the bell's final ring and the first light of day. This is the hour of total stillness, of being held fully in the arms of night. And you, gentle listener, are held too. You are part of this hour now, part of this hush that holds every breath in the valley. There is no task, no voice calling, no bell to stir you. Let yourself drift, let your thoughts dissolve, as frost does in morning light. You are here, in the fold, between heartbeats, in the pause between echoes, in the hour that belongs to no one but you. The bell will wait, the tower will hold, and the village will dream. So may you. The stars begin their slow descent, fading one by one into the veil of early morning. Not sunrise, not yet. Just the soft breath that comes before it. The blue hour, the moment when the sky forgets it was dark. In the stillness, the village feels wrapped in a deeper kind of peace. It is the sleep beneath sleep, the kind that mends and hushes and holds. In Aldred's cottage, the air is cool now. The coals have finally gone quiet, but the warmth lingers. His face is turned slightly toward the window, eyes closed, breathing even. A thin shaft of pre-dawn light slips in, pale as milk, and brushes across the wooden floor. It touches the old bell journal resting beside him. The leather cover gleams like something sacred. The silver bell in the box stirs slightly, not for movement, but memory. It has not been rung in years, but it still carries its tone, still remembers the palm it once rested in, the voices it once summoned. Older, it doesn't wake, but he sighs softly, as if the bell's echo reached him even in sleep. Malin, in her chair, has not stirred. Her blanket has fallen from her shoulder, her hands resting gently in her lap. The candle on her table has long gone out, but there's a glow on her cheeks that wasn't there before, some quiet joy caught in dreaming. In her mind, she walks the lane from her childhood home to the bell tower. She carries a basket of bread and apples, meant for the Bellringer's supper. She knows every stone beneath her feet, every turning shadow. She knows she will hear, and she will stop walking when it begins, because that's what everyone does. They pause and listen. In the forge, Willem's father sleeps beside the cold hearth. His arms still bear soot. His hands are calloused, but they rest tonight, stilled by the bell's echo. Willem lies curled beneath his covers, lost in a dream with no words, only light and sound, and the weight of the bell tower door closing behind him. He holds the rope, but he doesn't pull. He waits, and the bell, in the dream, seems to wait with him, as though telling him not yet, but soon. Outside, the frost has traced lace patterns on every window, each pane like glass embroidery, kissed by the sky. The sheep in the field still lie curled together, their breath forming little clouds. The river, slow and drowsy, makes no sound worth waking for. Even the wind has gone still. This is the final stretch of night, the space where nothing is required. The bell has done its work. The silence has done its work. Now the village holds its breath, not in fear, but in fullness. Every rooftop, every chimney, every blade of frost-touched grass waits with dignity, for soon the light will come. Soon the bell will sleep a little deeper, no longer needed for the day. And you, dear one, you are part of this breath. You are part of this quietness between the curfew's end and the sun's return. You need do nothing. You need be no one else. You have arrived at the heart of stillness, and stillness has made room for you. The sky is changing, just a little. The edges of the world grow pale, as though someone is brushing light into the corners. Still, the stars linger, refusing to leave too quickly. The bell tower stands untouched, silhouetted in the earliest blush of dawn. Its stones are cool and quiet. Its windows hold the blue-gray of morning mist. Inside, the bell remains perfectly still, suspended in its silent cradle. It will not ring now. Its task is complete, and yet it waits not with impatience, but with presence, with knowing. In the Bellringer's cottage, Aldard opens his eyes. He doesn't move. Not at first. He listens. Not for sound, but for silence. The kind of silence that hums beneath the waking world. The kind that only comes after a night well kept. The fire has gone to ash. The teacup remains on the table. His journal lies open, a sprig of pressed lavender marking the last entry. He inhales softly, the air still tinged with wood smoke. In sleep, he smiles, faintly, the way someone smiles when a long story has found its end. Outside, the rooftops gleam with frost, catching the first light like polished silver. The shutters creak gently as someone, somewhere, opens one to greet the coming day. A rooster calls out, its cry stretching thin through the air. Not bold, but sleepy. Inside the cottages, Bodies, begin to stir. Milan's eyes open slowly. She blinks at the pale morning glow and gives a soft, satisfied hum. The young couple rise from their bed without words, moving as one toward the kettle. Willem sits up beneath his quilt, rubbing his eyes. He doesn't remember the dream in detail, only the feeling it left behind. A sense of waiting, of being chosen for something. He crosses to the window and places his hand on the glass. The tower stands quietly in the distance. He smiles and whispers, "I'll see you tonight." Tom the baker has already lit his oven, flames blooming behind the iron grate. The scent of yeast and warm flour begins to slip into the lane, a gentle invitation. Life resumes, not abruptly, but like a soft ripple across a still pond. The day has begun, but the night has not truly ended. Its echo remains in the hush of voices, the calm of footsteps, the care in every movement. Aldred rises from his chair. He folds his blanket, places it over the back. He stretches, slow and deliberate, listening to the small creaks of his bones. He pours the last of the cold tea into a basin and steps outside. The air is crisp and clean, filled with the breath of frost and early promise. The village glows pale gold and silver, roofs glinting under the soft light. He looks up at the tower, its form familiar as his own hands. He nods, not needing to speak. The bell will sleep today, but tonight it will sing again, and everything will settle again into that sacred velvet silence, just as it always has, just as it always will. And you, listener, you walk now in the space between chime and light. Let it carry you. Let it stay with you as your eyes begin to close again, just for a moment longer. Let your breath fall into rhythm with the village. Let your thoughts drift back to quiet cobblestone paths, to lantern light flickering against stone, to the warmth of a fire going to embers. You are part of this place, even if only in your mind. You belong here. The bell has rung. The world has hushed, and you, like the village, are safe. The sun edges over the hills, painting the sky in soft hues of rose and gold. Birds begin their morning songs, clear and sweet, threading through the quiet village air. The bells of the distant church ring faintly, a different rhythm, one that calls the waking world. But the curfew bell rests, silent and still, its voice folded away like a secret. Inside the Bellringer's cottage, Aldred stands by the window. He watches the village come alive, smoke curling from chimneys, doors opening with a slow creak, footsteps stirring the cobbles. His heart is calm, steady like the bell itself. He breathes in the scent of fresh bread and morning dew. The rhythm of life here is slow, deliberate, respectful. The village knows the value of pause, and every pause begins with the bell. Farther down the street, children gather at the schoolhouse, their laughter light and eager. Willem steps outside, ready to join them, his eyes bright with dreams not yet spoken. He looks back once more to the tower, a promise resting on his lips. And in the quiet corners of the village, old memories and new hopes mingle. The bell's story is not just one of sound, but of connection, of community, of moments held between night and day. And you, listening here, are part of that story too. As your eyelids grow heavy and your body sinks deeper into rest, remember this. In every moment of stillness, there is a song waiting to be heard, a bell waiting to ring, a peace waiting to be found. So sleep now, softly and deeply. Let the village's hush carry you through the night. Let the warmth of the bell's echo fill your dreams. And when you wake, carry this calm with you. For the bell will ring again tonight, and you will be ready to hear it. Now, as you rest deeply in this quiet moment, feel yourself wrapped in the gentle arms of the village night. The bell has rung its last note for the evening, and the world has folded itself into peaceful sleep. You are safe here, held in the stillness that comes after sound, where every breath is a lullaby, every heartbeat a soft drum. Imagine Aldred once more, in his quiet cottage, his lantern extinguished, his body at rest, knowing a bell will sing again when twilight comes. Picture the village roofs, bathed in silver moonlight, the trees, whispering secrets only night can keep. The stars twinkling softly, like candles in a great dark hall. Feel your body growing heavier, more relaxed, as if you too are a part of this ancient rhythm. The bell's echo now lives inside you, a warm, low song cradling your mind. Let that sound carry you deeper into rest, beyond worries, beyond waking thought. There is nothing you need to do, no place you need to be. Only here, only now, only in the hush. And when the dawn comes, gentle and slow, you will carry the bell's peace with you into the day. You will walk in rhythm with the world's quiet heart, and know, always, the sound of safety and calm. So rest, dear listener. Rest beneath the village's watchful night, and when the bell calls you again, may you always answer with a full and peaceful heart.